roots again. We need to find the x-intercepts. So, in order to do that, I need to solve for my x. Okay? This is when when y is equal to 0. We're solving for x-intercept. So, first off, I'm in vertex form right now. One way I can solve for x-intercepts is to turn it into factored form. But in order to do that, I didn't want that to happen like that. I'll just move that down. In order to turn it into factored form, what form do I have to go to first, guys? Yes. So I have to go from vertex to standard. Okay. So to turn this into standard form, I need to expand and simplify. So this becomes x minus 2 times x minus 2. So I need to FOIL. When I go to FOIL this, I'm going to get x squared minus 2x minus 2x plus 4 plus 3. And when I simplify, I get x squared minus 4x plus 7. So I'm now in standard form. Okay? And I'm just going to erase the factor from here. The fastest way to solve for x-intercepts, move this down, is to technically factor it. Okay? Put it into factored form. So I'm going to go from my standard form to factored form. Those are my my factors, 1 and 7, and I need their products to add to -4. Well, all I have is 1 times 7. Is this factorable? No. So I can't change it to factored form using the factoring that we knew. So that means now I need to use my quadratic formula, which we have below right here. So we have our quadratic formula. Our A is 1. Our B is -4. And our C is +7. So we're going to plug those values. My 1, I'm going to plug in for both of the A's. Our -4, we're going to plug in for both of the B's. And our 7, we're going to plug in for the C. So I'll bring this formula up a little, and then we'll show you all the numbers are plugged in. So we have x is equal to negative our b's are -4. So remember, I replaced the b with -4. So this actually says minus -4. I replace the other b with -4. I replace both a's with 1. And I replace the only c with +7. So when we go to equate this, just like we've done before, x is going to equal, when I have negative -4, what will that equal? +4. Plus or minus the root of -4 squared, 16. -4 times 1 times 7. -28. So it says 16 minus 28. All above 2. Okay. I'm going to keep going. X equals 4 plus or minus. I'm going to simplify inside the square root. 16 minus 28. -12. Whoa, that was a little off. Be a little easier if I just do, hey, I'll have a solid black line. There you go. And finally, our next step, like we said, was to find the square root. But I've run into a snag here. What's the square root of -12? Anyone know? The try it in our calculator right now. Let's try it. Square root of negative 12. Hey, oh, shoot. In bracket, square root. Non-real answer. There is no number multiplied by itself that will give us a negative, so we're stuck. But this does give us information. Does anyone know what information this is now telling us, that I have a negative root? There are no x-intercepts. As soon as I have a negative square root, I know there are no x-intercepts. Which now means, pull out a graph quickly. We have some parabola, and let's just take a look. In our standard form, our A was positive, which means the parabola is opening upwards. So I have some parabola that is like this. It's opening up, but it's just above the x-intercept. The vertex is above the x-intercept, so it has no x-intercepts. Our A was positive when we were in standard form. So because A was positive, we know that we have an upward or opening up parabola. Finally, our example 4. Take a look at this. Our A. There you go. Our A is 2. Our B is negative 5, and our C is 3.125. Well, the way we learned how to factor, that's going to be very difficult. In fact, we haven't really done our factoring with decimals, so we're not going to use the factoring we're used to. Okay? We're going to sub it into the quadratic formula. So we have x is equal to negative plus or minus squared. When I go to plug this in, our B is negative 5. Okay? Our A is positive 2. And finally, our C is 3.125. So, we're plugging into our quadratic formula to solve for x-intercepts. X is equal to positive 5, negative and a negative, plus or minus 5. The negative 5 squared is 25. Negative 4 times 2 times 3.125 is going to be negative 25. And 2 times 2 is 4. Okay? Let's keep going. X equals 5 plus or minus the root of 25 minus 25. 0. What's the square root of 0? It's going to be 0. So when I normally go to split this, right, I'll quickly do it. X equals 5 plus or minus 0 over 4. Normally we go to split this because we have a positive and a negative answer. I could still split it, and we'll talk about why I didn't need to. But from this point on, we have our square root. Normally I go x is equal to 5 plus 0 over 4. And our other equation is x equals 5 minus 0. Now, normally we have other numbers than 0. And we solve for our x's. X equals 5 over 4. And turns out over here, x is also equal to 5 over 4, which is also means this is 1.25 and 1.25. Well, if you look here, I got the exact same number twice, 1.25. So really, I only have one x-intercept. my only x-intercept is 1.25. Okay? So, when I go to graph this, we have to try to make sense of it. That's right. Our x-intercept is 1.25, so was it negative? Sorry, I wasn't looking. Positive? 1.25, that's about here. I only have one x-intercept, so that means I have some parabola, and we could technically solve the rest, but for now, I have some parabola, and A was positive, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, A was positive, so we know it opens upwards. I have some parabola where the vertex is touching the x-intercept, and the rest of it's going up. Okay? So we've had three different ones. We've had when we had two x-intercepts, one x-intercept, and no x-intercept. We still use the quadratic formula. That's all you guys have been doing. That's all we're doing today is getting used to using that formula. I will quickly just scroll up and down so you guys can see what we did again. So I plugged all the values in for B, A, and C. And we plotted it. Some parabola opening upward. And I'm going to quickly go to the back page because I forgot to do that.